Just a reminder, like most of my episodes, there is a code word somewhere in this episode. So make sure you comment that code word down below on YouTube and you can win a copy of my book. Cheers.
Welcome back to Fire to Fork. I have now left my companions. It's a little bit further into the trip. It has been a great trip though. We had a really good day. The last couple of days have been fantastic. Cruising around, camping in some beautiful spots. I've got to tell you, Far North Queensland, you have thoroughly impressed me. But it's all done. The full driving side of things is done. The filthy Deleca is still going. I say filthy, not in that it's a disgusting car, just it's genuinely very, very dirty and really needs a clean. Okay, tonight we're doing pasta. So the first thing I want to do is get my pasta water going. So let's get this ant out of here. He doesn't need to be in there. And some salt. We've got about probably a tablespoon of salt to maybe a litre of water. Whack my bunged up lid on. This is just a companion billy that I have bent a lot already. And chuck that in the fire. I usually get a stainless or a tin billy. The tin does tend to rust after a while, but I'm going to see how this one goes. I never get an aluminium one because if the water evaporates, they melt just in the fire. So happened to me before and I didn't enjoy it. So, okay, let's start with, we'll start with the prep of this. So we're going to get a couple of pork sausages. Now, the reason I'm using sausages is because they're already flavoured and they're a really, really cheap and easy way of getting a lot of flavour into your pasta. These are from Riverway Meats, aka the carnivore candy store in Townsville. And they are a pork, fennel and roasted onion, which is a perfect combination with this sort of pasta. So quite an Italian style, and a pork sausage is really good for this. So you want to get the skin off. Actually, I'm just going to hold on that for a sec. I'm going to cut them because I'll probably take the skin off down by the fire and put the meat in. Now, just going to get everything lined up and ready to go for when I am down by the fire. So I want a bit of an onion, so probably only half an onion. Dice that up. Nothing too fine, nothing too precise. The next bit's a little bit unusual because you use basically the same ingredients that you use for a carbonara. And this is to add creaminess later on. This is optional, but definitely recommended. So, crack your egg in half, and then I'm going to do this sort of backwards. I'm going to get I just want the yolk of one, and I want the whole egg in the other. So, come on, bugger off egg white. Now I'm going to go and pour this into the fire, this egg white. I just didn't want to dirty two bowls to have egg whites in one and yolks in the other. So one egg yolk and one whole egg. I really like to just clean as I go. I find making a total mess the whole way through frustrating. Then I've got some pecorino romano. You can also use a parmigiano. If you're in a pinch, you can just use normal parmesan. But this is a little bit milder. I don't want it to be too intense. You can also add bacon, or if you want to get really fancy, you can add guanciale to this. So make it almost like a full carbonara, but with much less of the carbonara ingredients. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to rely on the Snags. And we'll probably grate 50 grams into there. And you want this on quite a fine grater. Cool, now don't put this away. Next, a little bit of butter. So I'm just going to throw my butter straight in the cast iron pan. You need quite a lot of fat in this, which is easy because you're using sausages. They've got a high fat content. which will render out, and that will make this extra creamy. It'll make the pasta creamy when it, anyway, you'll see what I mean. Now, these bits can actually probably go in cold. So we'll squeeze out this sausage meat. And we can just sort of break that up in there. And we'll keep breaking it up as it cooks. But I think now it's time to go down to the fire. Okay, so on my fire pit, I've got most of the heat on this side, a little bit under here, but also this has a flat surface here that will take away some of the heat, which is a good thing. And we want to do this relatively slowly. That's boiling, so when we're ready to put the pasta on, that'll be all good to go. I can stay there. It's not like it can overboil. So as this starts to heat up, you can see I've just broken up the little pieces a bit. That will make the texture a bit better. So you want them not huge, not tiny, just big enough for a bite of pasta. We don't want these onions to ever go brown. You just want them to be cooked, so a bit translucent, and we want the sausage to be a little bit brown. So we want sort of a low to medium heat. And this you can absolutely do on a gas burner. I'd prefer it if you didn't do it on an induction cooker. Now, I always read the packet of pasta to see exactly how long they say, only because it's so accurate for different types of pasta. It's amazing. It cooks in 13 minutes, done. I've got a rigatone and I'm gonna cook that for 10 minutes. And that cooks in 13 or whatever, that will be to al dente. That's how it should be cooked. So I'm gonna cook this for about 10 in the pot and then take it out. Gonna use about a third of a packet, so I don't know, 200 grams. This will probably serve two, because I want some leftovers. My two vessels are having a bit of an argument for space. So the problem I've got is that this keeps being on an angle and I want it to cook in all the fat. So I've just like to put a little rock there, level it out, and now all the fat runs the correct direction. I had to move this back because it was just boiling over. So this is starting to brown up. It's been 5 minutes since I put the pasta on, so another 5 minutes to go, which is perfect time to add, see that onion is just starting to brown at the edges, so this is the perfect time to add this. I'm going to add a bit of passata, so probably about a cup of passata. I've used a mutti, I don't know if that's how you say it, but an Italian one. Maybe a bit more, maybe 300 mils. Yeah, looks about right. This pan's a touch too big for this, if I'm completely honest. We'll just cook that off for a second, and then being a cast iron pan, I'll just take it off the heat, and it'll continue to cook. This is just a campfire cast iron pan. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, I will have a cheap gear page, which will be the gear that I've chosen to run in the Delica on a budget. This is not the stuff that is going in, you know, my premium cooking kit, but it is stuff that is very usable for your average person and great for people who are starting out. Camping can get very expensive if you buy everything really expensive straight up before you even want to go camping. Something like a cast iron pan. I mean, I've got a campfire cast iron pan in my kitchen at home and have done for 10 years. It's great. Nothing wrong with it. The removable handle's a nice touch, not that I ever actually remove it. Okay, let's bring this up. Where's the camera? I can't see through the smoke. Okay, let's bring this up. Been about another minute. Cast iron certainly transfers heat through the handle, that's for sure. My technique for getting around hot things on a plastic table has been enamel bowls, plates, sorry. You can put the hot thing on that. It's not a great solution, but it certainly gets me out of trouble. Now, how's that pasta going time-wise? That is actually ready to come off right now. I didn't plan that, but it is. And because water can only get to 100 degrees, it shouldn't burn this table. How are we looking in there? Yep, it's soft. It's not cooked, but it's soft. So what we need to do is transfer about, I don't know, that much pasta water, so a quarter of a cup, and then drop the pasta in here. Can actually go for a little bit more passata. So make it 400 mils of passata. Yeah, that's looking better. Now I'm actually going to throw this back on the fire for about a minute, or maybe a minute and a half. All right, that's sounding really good. Probably a minute once it's boiling and sizzling, and we're good. Okay, I think we're in business. It's the last day before I get back to civilization, and I found a Colonial IPA, aka Mother's Milk, in my fridge, and I have no idea where it came from. None. I didn't buy it. I couldn't buy it. I tried. But you magical little thing, you. I suspect I do know where it was from. It's from the last trip. It was rolled under my bed. That's right. I just forgot about it because I packed in a rush. Long story about a beer. Oh, I haven't had a single IPA this trip. Very hard to get up here. Now, this is the egg yolk and egg white and pecorino mix. So you stir that up and you drop it in raw into the still nice and warm pasta. You shouldn't still be boiling or anything, because then it will turn into scrambled eggs. And this is going to add a real creaminess and glossiness. And this is where the pasta water comes in. Pasta water is full of starch, and the starch will mix with this mixture and just make it incredible. In fact, I'm going to just chuck a tiny bit in there. Wash it around and get the rest out. Amazing. Oh, this is so creamy and delicious. Give this a very quick rinse. Doesn't really need one because it's the same stuff that I'm eating. Bit of pepper, hasn't had any yet. I'm going to do a gratuitous B-roll of this in the pan, because I think it'll look better in the pan than it will in a bowl. Let's do this. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna eat this out of the pan. Snags washing up. It's only me, and I'm just gonna put the leftovers in some Tupperware. Mmm. You know what makes it? The bit of fennel in the sausage. That's really good. So easy, super hearty. It doesn't taste incredibly gourmet, but it tastes creamy, hearty, fresh. It's great. I'd be over the moon if I got this at a restaurant. All right. It goes so well with beer. So well. Thank you so much for watching. I might even leave you with a few little images of Cape York to show you what's in the vlog that's coming up. There's going to be, yeah, I don't know how many episodes, but some of actual travel, which I don't usually do, but giving it a crack. I was in such an epic location, it felt rude not to share it. Now, I'm going to sit down and nail this and this.